So.
All right, we'll go ahead and continue with offensive lineman Liam Eichenberg. Liam, your first question will be from Tim Priester.
Liam, Ian Book running the football obviously has been a big part of your offense. Clemson flattened out their pass rush against him, which made some running lanes difficult. How can you guys as an offensive line assist when a defense does that? And also, how can you take advantage of Alabama has struggled a little bit on third down this year?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing is just staying on our guys, regardless if Book's sitting in there or running around. We just need to finish our block until the ball's thrown. It's tough knowing when the ball's thrown at times. But, I think Ian's going to do a really good job sitting in the pocket and throwing the ball like he has done all year. So, we're excited about it. Alabama's great defense, great defensive line, and it'll be a good challenge.
We'll go next to Tom Noy.
Liam, other than the obvious answer of everything, where does the offensive line maybe need to be better against Alabama than the last time out against Clemson?
We need to run the ball. It didn't show up in the last game. They showed us some looks that we weren't ready for, we weren't prepared for, and we took bad approaches. This week our coaching staff has done a better job at preparing us, I feel like, and for the future practices as well. I feel like they have a good plan. And, they're showing us a lot of looks that will potentially show up. And, Alabama's a good defense. They're going to line up. They're going to hit you in the mouth. And, it's the type of football we like. So we're excited about it. They're a very talented defensive line, great linebackers, and it should be good.
We'll go next to Holly Rowe.
Hey, Liam, I know that the media, a lot of us are so obsessed and focused on the last time Notre Dame played Alabama. I was curious, how old were you? And Coach has said you guys have really upgraded the physicality on the offense and defensive line since then. Do you remember watching that game, and could you speak to that?
I do not remember watching that game. If I'm being honest with you, I couldn't tell you how old I was. I just know that, it was a tough game, I guess you could say. But, it's a different year, different teams. And I feel like the offensive line has come a long way since then. I mean, nothing against those guys. I mean, they had a lot of great players. But I do know that's when I think Coach Heastan just got here, and the culture wasn't fully there, I guess you could say. So I feel like what we've built over these past couple of years will help us during this game specifically.
We'll go next to John Finneran.
Hi, Liam. I wonder if you could talk a little bit about losing Jarrett Patterson and what he brought to the offense. And what he's now bringing to the offense differently as, somebody who's standing and watching and helping out.
Yeah, Jarrett's the best center in the country, if I'm being honest. It sucks, to be honest with you. We missed one of our best players. You kind of get in the groove with things. He calls everything out. He's very vocal at the line. He does a good job communicating. But at the same time, Josh Lee stepped in. He's doing well. And, I only expect him to improve every game from here on out. So, I'm excited about it. I'm excited for him. And, it's tough. It sucks seeing somebody be injured, walking around with a boot, being on a scooter, because I know he would do anything to be out here. And it's just a tough situation for him. But at the same time, he's at practice. He's helping. He's coaching. He's giving advice. And, that's what you need from somebody of that caliber.
We'll go next to Jeff Spiegel.
Hi, Liam. Holly mentioned the last Alabama-Notre Dame game. There have been some other instances where Notre Dame maybe didn't perform up to its standard and on the big stage. How motivated is this team to change that narrative?
Yeah, in past years, I'm pretty sure Alabama got blown out by Clemson. I'm pretty sure other teams have been blown out as well in the playoffs. So, I'm not specifically concerned about that. This is a different year. This is a different team. We're taking it one game at a time. I personally don't care about the past, if I'm being honest with you. I'm just focused on this week and preparing the best we can to attack this opponent.
We'll go next to Dylan Sin.
Hello?
And Dylan, I believe you're muted. All right, we will circle back to Dylan, but we'll go next to Tyler James.
Hey, Liam, I got a couple questions for you. One, what does it mean to you to be an Outland Trophy finalist? And then two, I think we've gone all season without asking you about the jean jacket that you rocked in your season photo shoot. What's the story behind that?
Yeah, with the jacket, I mean, my roommates and I were just messing around, and we actually brought in some taxidermied animals that hang in our house, and then we just tossed on some random outfits. I put on a jean jacket, and then they put on some Hawaiian shirts. But my jean jacket has definitely been used a lot more than the Hawaiian shirt pictures, I guess you could say. It's not my preference, to be honest, but I mean, it's whatever. I mean, as long as people get a laugh out of it, I wasn't trying to be serious. And then in regards to the Outland finalists, you know, I was excited, but at the same time, I mean, that's not my end goal. I guess you could say I want to win a national championship with this team, with this program. You know, it's been a long time since we've been in that position, and you know, Coach Kelly has done a great job over these past years getting us to this point. And you know, this team just needs to finish it. You know, we need to finish what we started. But at the same time, you know, the Outland finalist is a great honor. You know, Quentin Nelson was a finalist past couple of years. You know, that outcome is, a lot of people argue about that, and I mean, you probably know where I stand on that. But I'm excited.
We'll go next to Matt Fortuna.
Hi, Liam. Curious, how instrumental has it been to have a guy like Chris Watt helping with the offensive line this year? What have you learned from him as a guy who was in your guys' shoes not too long ago?
Yeah, it's definitely nice having somebody who played here, who understands the program, and also at the same time, you know, he was in our shoes. He played in the NFL, and you know, I feel like it's tough for coaches at times who didn't play at this level or in the NFL to completely understand what is happening on the field. You know, Coach Quinn does a great job with everything, and you know, Coach Watt just adds experience into that as well. You know, Coach Quinn's been coaching for 30 years. And it's nice having Coach Watt, who's been in the NFL, who understands footwork, technique, and he also played for Coach Easton, who's one of the best in the country. You know, he's one of the best offensive line coaches. Personally, I think he'll go down as one of the best ever. So it's nice having Chris Watt. He's a great guy, but at the same time, you know, he's honest. He's demanding a lot, and that's what we need.
We'll go next to Chuck Freeby.
Liam, both Tommy Reese and Ben talked about situational execution being a problem early in the Clemson game and something that's been a point of emphasis in practice. For the offensive line, how do you guys improve on that getting ready for Alabama?
Yeah, you know, Coach Quinn always talks about being a situational player, I guess you could say. You know, one of the best compliments is he's a great situational player. And, you know, for us, it's understanding certain looks, certain blitzes, what formation they're going to be in, what defense. You know, a lot goes into it. What's down at distance, and are we going to run the ball, pass the ball? So, you know, I feel like we've taken more time out of this week. The offensive line has spent a little more time looking at situational plays, I guess, and downs. So it's just, I mean, it's one of those things that you kind of have to ante up on, because the last game it didn't work out well. So we're looking forward to it against Alabama, and practice has been a lot more consistent. And there's a lot more live periods in regards to like third and long, third and short, red zone, stuff like that.
And we'll wrap it up with you with Ralph Russo.
Hey, Liam. So I'm wondering, you know, obviously this is a very unusual year. After a game, let's say after an afternoon game, you guys win. I would imagine you see families normally, you go out and hang out with your friends. Can you give me a little idea of like what was a post game like this year compared to previous years?
Yeah, pretty lot going on. You know, after the game, I pretty much go home, lay on my couch, watch the game about 2 or 3 times, and then probably go pick up some food. I would talk to my parents for like 30 minutes outside, spaced out with masks on. They'd leave. Then I'd go to bed pretty much. So it wasn't anything crazy. You know, we can't really, you know, I mean, we've sacrificed so much. And, you know, for me as a 5th year in my final season, you know, a lot on the line for me personally. I can't risk getting sick, I guess you could say. And then along with that, getting others sick. You know, a lot of guys on this team, even the younger guys, have done a great job at sacrificing and understanding the protocol and the guidelines that we need to follow. But yeah, there really hasn't been much. you know, and lucky for me, a lot of people that I know aren't here. So it's been easy.